I never thought the words going second and Thunder Dragons would be in the same sentence, but I stand corrected. What's going on, you guys? Slim here to give you guys a pretty interesting deck profile. This is a profile of what has been known as going second Thunder Dragons. Now, this is definitely not something I came up with. This is actually a deck profile, card for card, that I saw on my boy Ed, Hi, I'm Ed's channel. I will definitely link it down below. Please subscribe to him. It's amazing when really well-respected and well-accomplished players in the game actually do take the time to make YouTube content and make a channel. And Ed's going for the World's Race this year, so we're all behind him. So please, please, please check him out. His content is, is just crazy because he really has the competitive aspect, having gone to so many events and having been so successful. So please check that out. This was Hyuk Chang's top 32 YCS Niagara deck profile, and it blew my mind. Going second Thunder Dragons, like, I thought, you've got to be kidding me, like really, because to me, whenever I played this deck, I've always wanted to go first. I've always wanted to win the die roll and just, set up Colossus, set up Titan, have hand trap and say go. And, the idea of playing second never even crossed my mind. Now, sure, I've lost die rolls and had to play second, but that's based off the die roll. I never actually thought that the deck could be a concept of blinding second, and blinding second seems to be something that several decks do this format, but it's definitely interesting. I will get into it and explain things. I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention in case you guys are looking for another build of Thunder Dragon, since this is definitely a Thunder Dragon advocate channel. You guys already know, but yeah, shout out to Hyuk Chang. Congratulations on the top. Really enjoy the profile. Like I said, watch it down below to get more explanations. I'll try to cover as many as possible, but yeah, we'll get into it. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing, give the video a like. It helps me out, and yeah, we'll get into it. You guys know I can't put the babies down, so for the normal summons, there is 3 Battery Man Solar. This is basically your only real normal summon. The deck is not playing Aloof Lupine, so the deck plans to go second, and Aloof Lupine, yeah, is good going second. It depends on, what your hand is. And I was actually a little shocked he wasn't playing Aloof Lupine, but he talked about how he just wanted to have Solar and some of the hand traps that you do play in this deck going second. Solar also being Thunder is really important. He said the problem with Lupine, and I will agree to an extent with this, is that Lupine not being Thunder at times does suck. You do have the ability to make a generic link to, like, Lambda with it, but I can understand where you would rather make the summoner, get the token off of Solar, and Solar sending Roar, Hawk, just gets you everything, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so this has been standard, in Thunder Dragon for so long. It's just the card has gone kind of in and out of if people really like it. And then the last normal summon, I can't really call it a normal summon, but I guess, is the one Denko Sekka. So he did main the one Denko Sekka for back row decks. You have the ability to search this off fusion, so 1 is all you really need. Also, just opening it against back row decks is kind of nice, and at the absolute worst, if you open this and do some Thunder things, you can then turn this into a Colossus in a matchup where there's not a lot of back row, so it's pretty standard. But yeah, that was it for the normal summons. Like I said, there's no Aloof Lupine, there's nothing like that. It's just standard Thunder monsters, so definitely interesting. Like I said, Denko really good going second, so it makes sense for the strategy. Then on to the Thunder Dragons themselves. Now this will come as no surprise that we're maxing out, so of course 3 OG, 3 Dark, 3 Hawk, 3 Roar, 3 Matrix, and the 1 Duo. So, like we've talked about in multiple profiles, I don't think there's too much to talk about, but always want to have this. This is insane, just being able to banish this off Allure, being able to banish this with one of the cards we have in the deck already. Just being able to end phase this when you're going second is really strong to help thin your deck. A lot of people don't understand, like, that really makes a huge difference so that you don't dead draw another one. Like, that's really good. Don't need to explain that. It's like Monster Reborn, cards insane to banish off Allure. Technically this is another normal summon. I guess that's something I didn't talk about, but yeah, you can sometimes just normal summon this, link into Link Revo, do things, so you have to play it, and plus it, triggers Titan, and then 1 Duo. So he only played 1 Duo. I've noticed a lot of people have been playing 2. I myself only ever played 1, but actually in updated builds, which, I'll eventually profile here if need be, I did up to a 2nd Duo, and I have been liking it a lot for the grind game, but I completely understand why he's only playing 1 when you see the rest of the cards are in the deck. But yeah, these are Thunder Dragon cards, you guys. You've seen them a million times on here. I give you guys a little synopsis of them, but I think everyone who watches this channel should know what those cards do. But yeah, so on to the hand traps. Now, this is what makes the deck really a going second deck. Instead of playing like certain hand traps that I thought for sure would be in this deck, he opted for other ones that just benefited you more when going second, and I'll explain why he chose these exact ones, and also if you watch the deck profile you'll understand more too. So, triple Phantasme, triple Nibiru, and triple Dimension Shifter. So he played these 9 hand traps. Okay. Phantasme, we know this card is insane. This card should have gotten the reprint. It didn't. I know a lot of people want to get this card. I highly suggest you get it, you guys. It's rare, I'll tell you guys, to invest in something that is quite pricey. I'm, not a Market Watch channel or any of that stuff, but I can tell you guys this card has been insane for me ever since I got it. I was fortunate enough to pick these up early on because I knew this was one of the best cards in the set, and I wanted to make sure I had my set early on. And I played this card in almost every deck I've played, so this card is insane. Definitely something you guys should pick up. What I love about this card and why this card is so good going second, almost every deck link summons. Almost every deck link summons at some point. You can drop this, get a body on board, fix your hand, put back dead cards. The fact that it becomes a threat to your opponent is insane. You guys know how broken this is against Sky Strikers, against Salamangreat, against decks like that really can't get around it. Preventing your guys from getting targeted is nuts too. This card is just nuts. Plus, at the worst, like I've said in multiple profiles, it's a bit dark for Allure. So there's Phantasme. So Nibiru, you guys already know this card is The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This card is nuts. What I like about is that Thunder are starting to play this is because, yes, it kind of sucks to draw, like, if you're going first, but, it's just a good backup play. Like, sometimes just being able, when the opponent starts to go crazy, you just Nibiru them. They don't expect it game one. They're going to walk right into it. It happens all the time. I, myself, have done it. I've walked right into it game one and just thought, oh, well, dang, they actually main decked it. So, yeah, this card is really good. One thing I like about this, too, is that I think a lot of people don't value the body of Nibiru. They're always thinking, oh, I'm just going to wipe my opponent's board, give him a token. The fact that you get Nibiru as a body is so insane. Just being able to have that 3,000 body that, yeah, you might attack with, yeah, you might link with, but if it helps you get rid of the token or helps you OTK, like, it's just so much better. And yeah, this card is nuts. And at the absolute worst, it's a light. It might come up for duo. It might. There may be that situation where it comes up and you're just like, damn, it's a light, and you broke it, yeah. Okay. So many of you have asked me about this card. I have had endless PMs, endless comments asking me about Shifter. So, in the beginning, I didn't even look at Shifter. I will admit, I was one of those people. Shame on me. I should have looked at this card. This card is actually insane. Opening, Shifter, and Solar is the nuts. Literally, summon Solar, change Shifter. Like what the hell? It's so broken. These cards work so well together. It's another reason why he's not playing Aloof Lupine. You want to see this combo. People have, kind of compared this to, what is it, Gazelle Spinny? I don't even know. I'm not a Salamangreat player, so I don't really know. But whatever the main two-card combo you always want to see in Salamangreat is. I know there's plenty, but there's like some Wombo combo that's like Exodia. People say this is like the Exodia of Thunder Dragons, especially going second, because this card is the nuts. I've talked about how bad our Orcus matchup is, and I still stand by that. This card makes it a lot easier. This card makes it, all their stuff gets banished. Like, they're not going to have that recurable play. They're not going to be able to really do anything. This is just the nuts. Sucks in the mirror match, but good otherwise against everything else. Everything else getting Macrocosmos is insane. Yes, you have to draw it, so yes, there is that downplay, but again, you do have the Phantasme to draw into it. Phantasme not going to the graveyard by its effect going to the board actually is so much more important than being able to shifter your opponent and then being able to, banish all your Thunders and they get all their crazy real effects. Like, that's so insane, and I really underestimated this card, and that was my bad. It's something I'm definitely going to keep testing going forward. This is a build I'll definitely be testing going forward. I think this card is really good. I think this card is good in certain decks, and Thunder is definitely one of them. And going second, like, these 9 hand traps, the Shifter, the Nibiru, and the Phantasme, I feel are definitely a really good call. Ash, yes, is amazing. It's a generic. It's stop something, but these are like blanket cards. Shifter, Nibiru are like real blanket cards that just, they give you that ability to just, wipe a board or make your opponent not be able to build a board, and then you get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, Phantasme helps you draw into them, so you see the synergy between all of them, so I really, really like that in this deck. That's it for the monsters, and the spells are just all standard. There's not really too much to explain, but of course 3 Allure, that's like a god card, you just draw, it's broken. 3 Instant Fusion, he talked about how he thought this card was going to suck, but it was actually really good. Yeah, this card is good. Like, I go back and forth. Like, I am testing builds where I don't play this card because extra deck space is kind of tight at times, and yeah, I mean, it's not always the best card. Like, yeah, you want to open Kaminari, yeah, you want to start your combos into Titan and start doing your plays. Going second, it's great to make Thousand Eyes, to bait out in a gate, or just to take a monster, like, especially against Sky Striker, it's so broken. It baits Widow Anchor, like, every time, so this card's crazy. But I can see where, like, depending on the build, but going second, yeah, like, if this is your 6th card, like, this is so insane. Like, I've lost this card so many times, so the card's really, really good. It just really depends, like, especially going second, and if your extra deck space can fit in, you're not playing anything else, like, anything else that could be, more more beneficial. The card's still really good. Then 2 Desires. He didn't play 3. Yeah, I agree with this. I think 2 Desires is plenty. I wasn't a huge fan of this card in this deck, but again, I have to think that this deck plays a crap ton of 3-ofs. You're never going to really banish too much stuff, and drawing 2 is just insane. So better mentality is to actually play this card. Definitely will agree with that. And then 2 Fusion. This is one of the best cards in the deck. You guys already know. Making Titan is insane. Hard making a Colossus happens a lot. I can't tell you guys. You can ask my opponents that I played. How many times, like, my hands were subpar. I opened this in regular OG Thunder Dragon, discarded one, discarded another, fusioned them back, searched them again, made a Colossus, had some hand jump, said go, and yeah, you still get there. Then you had the follow-up play to search, so card is nuts. I'm a little surprised you didn't play 3, but I can understand that, you know, it can get bricky even with Desires. 2 should be fine. Hopefully you don't banish both, or hopefully you search it with Dark before it happens. And then the 1 God card, Gold Stark. I mean, card is the nuts. But yeah, that was the main deck. That was his 40-card main deck, and I'll just show you guys the extra real quick. There's like maybe 1-2 cards in here that's interesting, but yeah. Fusions, 3 Colossus, 3 Titan. These are the God cards in the deck. Like, these cards are insane. Well, what can I say? Yeah, Titan. It's become more of a Titan deck is what he said, especially going second. You just make a Titan, start popping everything, and then you just, you know, you either OTK your opponent or you link climb into a better link monster. Other fusion targets, we got the Thousand Eyes and the Kaminari. You guys already know off instant fusion. You know, even going second, like, you can start your combos with this. Going second, you can swipe a monster, and, you know, it's great. Then Link Karibo, Lambda, some Summoner, Phoenix, Unicorn. These are just all generic links that I think every Thunder Dragon deck should be playing. You make it with Matrix, you make this with like anything. This when you get your Thunder token or anything, just, I mean, it happens. And this card is just really good. Turns into another Colossus if you're not fearing Nibiru. If you know your opponent doesn't have Nibiru, then generic removal. Just really important. This is really important in the mirror match too. Being able to spin something is great, and just spin anything that can't be destroyed is great. So I think you should always play that. And of course, my favorite link monster, the BLS link. I think this card is the nuts. Definitely another card you guys should invest in. I know, unfortunately, this and Phantasme are very expensive, but they're definitely something you guys should consider picking up, because, I mean, it's really good. Like, this card is so good against Striker. It's so good against Salmon Great. Most control strategies have a real hard time getting around this because they can't target it. I mean, its effect is not just being able to banish or double attack, or 45 is just insane. And then the last card he played was Appaloosa. So this was like the main thing I was saving to the end. So, okay, this actually really surprised me. I was like, what on earth is he playing this card? And then it made sense when he explained it. So the strategy is you go second, you blind second with the deck. You break your opponent's board. After you break your opponent's board, instead of, if you don't OTK them, just saying, say you don't OTK them, say it just doesn't happen for whatever reason, you can just link into this, and then your opponent has lost their entire board. They might be under Dimension Shifter, God knows what, but you have the Appaloosa up in the extra monster zone to bait any more negates, and I mean, I'm pretty sure at that point you just win the game, because you're baiting the monster, the monster effects get negated like Light and Darkness Dragon, and you just win. You just win, and that's a pretty cool strategy. Really good against Orcus. Really good against just pretty much any deck. If you break a board and then put up negates, I mean, you win pretty much every game. So I think that's pretty crazy. But yeah, that is the deck profile, you guys. I definitely want to know your guys' opinion. Again, I know a lot of these cards are semi-expensive. I've showed some pretty expensive cards, I will admit. But if you guys are trying to build this deck, if you guys are trying to build any version of Thunder, consider using my TCG player link. It's in the description below. A portion of what you guys spend at your checkout goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys will try out this deck. So this is a very, very interesting concept, and it's something that I wanted to bring to the channel, because again, Thunder Dragon channel, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's an interesting strategy, and it's something that I'm definitely testing going forward. I think you guys should definitely try out yourself. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like it, of course, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried this build? Have you seen this build? Have you seen Ed's profile that he did of it with Hayek Chang? Because I think the deck is just really cool. I like the concept. The minute I saw going second, I never clicked on a video so fast, because I was like, okay, this is something in Thunder I'm not familiar with. I knew about Shifter, I just didn't test it, and now, having tested several games with this, I can see the real synergy with this deck, especially you blind second, your opponent doesn't expect that with Thunder Dragons of all decks, and then you just Raffle stop them, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, Thunder Dragons is Thunder Dragons, you guys. I feel until the ban list does something to them, we're gonna keep playing them in some shape or form. And I like that we have options. I like that we have regular standard Thunder. I like that we have, I guess, we still to some crazy extent have the crazy Wombo Combo Crusadia Thunder deck. I don't know, I haven't seen that deck unfortunately do too well in a while, but if you guys do want to see that, I can build that. I need to see if I actually have all the stuff still. I have been getting rid of cards here and there, but definitely something I wouldn't mind bringing to the channel. But but to be honest, I'm more of a fan of the pure deck. I think the pure deck is just better in the long grind games that you want to have. You don't want to have a glass cannon deck. You want to have a deck that continues to grind, and that's what I love about Thunder Dragons, is that they continue to grind in pretty much any situation. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.